This is Allison. This is my chair sitting Pilates, sitting and standing with a chair Pilates series that I'm going to do. So we'll get started. Hands are going to go on your hips and you're going to sit at the very edge of your chair. Well, you'll notice there are weights. I'm making weights out of cans. So you can get some cans that are the same shape. And we're going to do some things with the weights later. So you're sitting on the edge of your chair. Your feet are under your knees and your knees and hips are about 3 inches apart. Lean right and left. And I want you to feel your sitting bones. If you have a really cushiony chair, it's a little harder to feel, but see if you can feel there's a bone under the right side of your rear end and a bone under the left side at the bottom of your rear end. They're called your sitting bones. So you're trying to find the right one and the left one. Just being noticeable, like noticing how they feel, what they look like in your mind, and how wide they feel. All right, let's sit on both sits bones. So both are pushing down to the chair. Think of your hips like a bowl with soup in it. So you're going to take your bowl. You know what? I'm going to turn my chair a little bit. Maybe you'll be able to see me a little bit more three-dimensionally. You're going to take your hips like a bowl and pour them backwards so the soup would all pour out of the back of the bowl of the pelvis. And then take your bowl, pour it forward so all the soup would like fall out of the front of the bowl. Pour it back, trying to pour the soup out of the back of the bowl. Pour your hips forward, trying to pour the soup out of the front. As you're going about this, you'll notice your lower back is rounding backwards and arching forwards. You'll notice you'll sit behind your sitting bones here, and then you'll sit in front of your sitting bones here. Something that I want you to start to concentrate on. If you're at a dinner table, if you're sitting at a table, that the people at the table with you don't know this is happening. So you're really concentrating it in the lower back and in the hips and in the belly, pulling back and forth. One more, back and forth. Make your soup level. So find your sits bones. Sit back on your sits bones and visualize that soup isn't falling forward or backwards. It's right in the middle. And then keep it so. Take your hands, clasp them. It's my neck that I'm touching, not the bottom of my skull, which is kind of unusual, I know. But you're going to touch the back of your neck, clasp your hands, bring your elbows under your chin. And if they touch, that's great. If not, just have them as close as they can stretch in. So now you're going to inhale, reach your elbows up. And as you exhale, point your elbows down. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. As you're going about this, now you're still at that dinner table. So imagine that table line. And you're trying to only move the body parts that are above the table. So you're staying with your pelvis centered. So your soup is not sloshing around. It's in the center. And it's unchanging. Last one. And then down. And then point your elbows straight ahead. So we're just finding the middle of that up and down action with your spine from the last exercise. Find your spine just straight. Take your clasped hands up to the ceiling. Lift your shoulders up by your ears on purpose. Hold them up there and take your ribs and really stretch them with your breath. So as you inhale, make your ribs really big. And as you exhale, relax your jaw. Inhale. Make your ribs really big. And exhale. Relax. As you go, see how big you can make your ribs. See them stretching open like an umbrella. Opening your ribs in all directions like an umbrella. Exhale. This is actually how we breathe in Pilates. Really stretching our ribs out with our breath. And exhale. One more. So keep breathing throughout this class like this. Let your arms just hang down by your sides. Roll your shoulders in some big circles. So your shoulders are drawing the outer line of this circle. And I want you to start to imagine what is the middle point of the circle. My shoulders are drawing the outside. So what is the center point of this circle? And I want you to next time try to put your shoulders on the center of the circle. And then just let your head freely turn right and left and right and left, right belly. So my belly button's up here. So I'm going to go, my belly button's up here. So I'm going to go down below my belly button onto my low belly. I want you to let all of that gut region, the stomach region, just relax. Your stomach just falls into your hands. And then try to pull it in. You're trying to pull the stomach in like it's trying to come off your hands. And then relax. Always just let go. And then pull it in like you're trying to pull all of that skin and pants and shirt material off your hands. Relax into your hands. And then pull in. And I want you to notice in I can see myself. So what happens is I get a little bit kind of slouchy looking. And then as I pull it in, I actually feel like I get straighter, I get taller, my lower back feels a little less kind of slouched into and sunk into, right? So just this little action of drawing these muscles in can do a world of good. Pull it in one more time. So I want you to feel, as you pull it in, you're going to keep it in. And I want you to keep it in and think about, you're tightening those muscles. So these are your hip bones. You're tightening all the muscles between your hip bones, pulling them in. Now think of those sitting bones you're sitting on. See if you can tighten the muscles that exist between your sitting bones. We call that your pelvic floor in Pilates. So your low belly, pelvic floor are drawn in. And can you maintain that for a few moments? So you're going to keep that. We're going to add on hands now clasped behind your head. So I know before we were at your neck, now we're at your back of your head behind your eye level. And now just feel like you're lining the back of your head over the rest of your spine all the way down to your tailbone. And now you're not going to go anywhere. So you have this nice kind of stacked head over spine down to your tail. But your head and your hands just actively push a little into each other. And what I want you to feel is that your sitting bones are still pressed down to the chair. Your pelvic floor and low belly are still drawn in. You're breathing into those big ribs. Notice I'm kind of reviewing all the things we already talked about, correct? And then you're just activating the spine a little bit by pushing the head back into it. Take one more moment, and then you're just going to stay there and take your hands out and bring them to genie pose. Close your feet and knees together, squeeze in the ankles and knees together and keep them together. Spine twist to the right and center. Inhale as you go, exhale as you center. Inhale as you go, exhale as you center. Inhale, exhale, trying to grow taller. Check in with what we already know. You're sitting on both sits bones. Your belly is still drawing in. You're breathing into your ribs as best you can as you twist. Inhale and exhale. One more each way. And center. Go get your weights. Hold them in your hands. So reimagine when you pushed your head back into your hands and you had that nice long spine. You're going to revisit that and maintain it. Arms go out to the sides. Your palms are facing up, so you're kind of pointing the hands up to the ceiling, and your elbows have a little bend. The arms start a circle. The circle is actually meant to challenge your spine. So as you're going about making the arm circle, notice if you have like a part of your body that's wiggling around. I'm kind of doing like a bad version right now. So if your arms are circling and you feel kind of movement in your trunk, see if you can go in there. See if you can lengthen out and engage the muscles in your core and your back. And see if you can get it to be a little more still, or not moving at all would be great. And then reverse your circle. 10, 9, feel your collarbones are wide. 5, shoulder blades are relaxed. And rest. We're going to do that one more time. So your arms go out, and you're keeping your spine stacked, still, not letting your body wiggle around, just the arms. A couple more. Reverse. Squeeze the legs tight. Sit up tall. Draw your belly in. And rest. Turn your palms face in. And you're going to lean forward. My back is staying straight. So I'm not rounding my spine. As I lean forward, I feel like my hip bones, these front hip bones, lean into my thighs, and my spine is straight. And it's like you're looking past your toes with your nose, over your nose. Your arms lift up and down. And as you lift, you're trying to keep the shoulder tops relaxed And try to work the muscles under your shoulder blades to send the arms up. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up and down. 2 more. Exhale up and down. Exhale up and down. Sit all the way up. We're going to do it one more time with an addition. So you lean straight forward, you lift the arms up, and you pulse the cans up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sit back up. Good job. You're done with your cans. You can put them down. Oh, I lied. One more thing with the cans. We're just going to do a neck stretch. So you hold the cans down, palms facing forward, and you bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And you take some deep breaths. You're just trying to find a stretch along the right side of your neck. Now turn your chin towards your left collarbone. Now tuck your chin, roll it to the center. Feel that your chin is making a double chin, and your chin is trying to touch your Adam's apple, which is different. It's not, your chin's not trying to sit on your chest. It's trying to tuck into your Adam's apple or the front of your throat. And then bring your head upright. Right ear towards your right shoulder. Take some deep breaths. Turn your chin towards your right collarbone. Now remember, we're going to roll into a double chin in the center and try to touch your Adam's apple, not your breastbone. All right, upright. Scooch your feet. Your feet can be about as wide as your chair legs, and then point the legs a little towards the diagonals, towards the front corners of your room. Now your arms reach up like a V. And while you're doing this exercise, try not to let one arm get closer to the ear than the other. Try to keep them equidistant. So this is like bad version. This is good version. They're equidistant around your ears. You're going to stretch out to the right and exhale back to center. Stretch out the other way and exhale back to center. Feel the other leg and hip really sinking down into the floor, into the chair. And over to the second side and up. Try to take nice deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And exhale. Last one. Over to the second side and up. Okay, you can put your weights down. You are done with them now. And we'll do a couple more seated exercises. So you hold on to the sides of your chair. You slide your right leg out to straight. And you're actually going to take, I'm going to scoot my chair back so you can see my foot a little bit better. So you're going to take this leg, my knee is right here, my toes are flexed. You're going to take your leg and turn it out. So my knee is not facing up to the ceiling, my knee is facing out towards the right side. Well, for you it would be left side. So left leg, left side of the room with my kneecap and my toes. And then you do that lean forward you did a couple exercises ago. Your leg stays in that external rotation, stays straight and flexed in the foot, and your body stays leaned forward. You lift the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. And again, so as I pick up my leg, I keep my leg externally rotated, that's what that's called, and lower. Exhale to lift and lower. Now watch for the body. Keep your body leaned forward. You're like looking over the bent knee toes. You're like looking over those toes and lower. Couple more. It's really easy to rock the body back in order to get the leg up. Try to keep forward. 8, this is your last one. Sit up for a sec, slide that foot in. Other side. So slide your other foot out, the one you haven't done. This is my left leg, your right leg. Externally rotate. Again, you're taking the knee and the toes and you're pointing them a little off to this side. Lean forward. Straight leg, lift for 5. And you keep looking down over those toes. And rest. Again, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. Lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. Lift. 2, 3. Keep looking over these toes. These bent knee toes. Keep peering over them. Lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. And lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should really feel the inside of the front of your leg working. Last time, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, bend your legs. Move your feet under your knees, maybe a little bit more under than like straight out under your knees. Maybe your toes are under your knees. You're gonna squeeze your legs together, reach forward, lean forward like you've done in a couple other exercises, and barely lift your butt up, just barely. Feel your sits bones are wide and reaching back, your spine is straight. Hold for a couple more seconds, really squeezing the legs tight. Reach back, feel the chair, and have a seat on it. We'll repeat. Reach forward, lean your hip bones into your thighs, press into your feet, lift your butt just a little bit for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach back and have a seat. We'll add on one more time. Reach forward, lean forward, barely lift your tush. Think of moving at your ankles. Take your tush down an inch, down, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down, up, down, up, down, up. Good. 2 more. 1 more. Reach back, find that chair, and have a seat. Hold on to the sides again. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And I'm going to show, this is what I do not want. This is bad version, where the foot's twisting in, and it's more on the front and kind of top and inside of your leg. What is the good version is moving your ankle so your foot is on the outside of your bottom leg, and it's flexed. Now your hands are pressing down, you're sitting really tall. Notice if you feel like you're leaning onto one side of your butt more than another. Even that out. Try to lean equally on both sides of your tush. If you're getting a really nice stretch on this leg, just stay. If you need a little bit more, you would keep your spine straight and just tip your hips forward, as we have done in other exercises today. So hopefully you're feeling a stretch on this leg and hip. You're just going to stay for a couple more breaths. And if you're leaned forward, sit up and switch. So remember, cross the leg all the way over, up past your calf, past your thigh onto the outside. Flex your foot. Sit up tall first. Notice if you want to lean your weight a little more in one direction to even yourself out. If that's a good stretch, just stay. If you need a little more, tip your hips forward and take a couple breaths. One more second. And uncross. I'm going to take my socks off. You're doing whatever you're doing. I'm turning my chair just so you can get a better view. You might have to get a better view of your screen. But I'm putting the chair in a way that I can see you a little bit more and you can see my back. So I put my hands on the center of the chair, and I want to make it so that my shoulders are over my wrists and my hips are over my heels. And then I'm going to do a little cat-cow. So I'm rounding my spine. I'm feeling my nose and pubic bone coming towards each other. And then the next part, I'm going to take my spine the other way. If bending your knees makes you feel your spine hips can open up a little bit more, feel free to bend your knees. They don't have to be bent. They can be straight here, but bending usually opens you up a little bit more. And then your legs are straight as you're going into cat. Everybody's are straight in cat. And then bent or straight, whatever feels better, going into cow. And then again, cat and cow. and cat, and cow. 2 more, cat, and cow, and 1 more. The next one is the spine is going to stay in straight. It's not cat and cow, which gets a little confusing. It's movement of your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades are coming closer together, and then they're moving farther apart. And what happens is your breastbone goes down a little, and then comes up. Your breastbone goes down towards the chair and up away from the chair. I'm going to stand up so you can see my shoulder blades. They're supposed to be going closer together, farther apart. Closer together, farther apart. So try it a couple more times. Closer together, farther apart, closer together, farther apart. Last 2, closer together, farther apart. Now keep them far apart. So try not to get into a kind of a slouchy position where you're hanging out into your wrists and shoulders. Keep pushing down into the chair with your fingers. Keep lifting your breastbone. Right leg, slide it on the floor till your toenails are on the floor. Notice if you've leaned over one way. Try to stay equal with your hips and shoulders centered over your hands. And you're going to lift your right leg, tap it down. Lift your right leg, tap it down. Lift your right leg, tap it down. Lift. And as you're going about this, notice if you've leaned forward a lot. Try to have your tush right over this left foot. 2 more. Up. Down. This one we're going to hold. You're going to flex your foot. I know you can't see it. My back foot is flexing and pointing. Flexing and pointing. Flexing and pointing. Flex. We're just holding the muscle engaged a little bit longer. 2 more. I want you to stay flexed and reach your left arm forward. You're just balancing here. I should feel like these muscles are working. Put the hand down and the foot down. Maybe shake out your butt for a second. We'll do the other side. So you're not slouched, right? You're pushing the fingers down. You're lifting your breastbone up. Your shoulder blades are wide. Left leg, toenails are on the floor. You lift and you lower. Lift. Even here, you can feel your belly pulling tight. Your spine is nice and long. Exhale up and down. Exhale up and down. And again, notice if you've leaned forward. See how my butt's in front of my heel? Try to have your tush directly over this heel. 2 more. You're going to stay there. My up foot is pointing and flexing. My left foot is flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing. 4 more. 3. Really straighten your upper leg. Stay flexed. Right hand is going to go out, and you're holding there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and foot come down, and maybe shake it out for a second. You're just going to have to walk around your chair. I'm going to move my chair a little bit. All right. So you can use the chair as little or as much as you would like. You could have your hands off and just like hovering the whole time if you want. So your toes. You're going to lift all 10 toes equally up, spread them apart, like really open the toes up and then press them down. Lift your toes and lower. Now watch, everybody has a tendency to lean their tush back when they lift their toes up. Try to do it using other muscles. So try to, instead of leaning back, try to keep your tush where it is and just lift your toes. And it makes it a lot different, try to do it that way. 2 more. Keep your toes pressed down. Really think of where your sitting bones are. Squeeze your sitting bones and slowly lift your feet up and down. And again, you choose how much help you're giving yourself. You could not touch, you could lightly touch, or you could give yourself a good support. Couple more. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up. You're going to stay, your heels stay up. My knees bend and straighten. You want to look like you're like going down an elevator, going up an elevator. Down and up, down and up. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Up and lower. Turn and face one way. I'm going to turn so my left hand's on here, my right leg's outside. Whatever way you're facing, one hand's on the chair. The outside leg though, that hand goes on your hip. And you're going to take that leg out to the side and lower. I stood a little too close to the chair. So make sure you can shift your weight. So my hips are shifting over my standing leg closer to the chair. And I'm trying to let my leg move. And I'm going to show bad version. So as you lift, it's kind of tempting to lift the hip too. Try not to lift the hip. Try to just lift the leg. Last one. Other side. So I'm going to face away from you. You might do the same. And lift and lower. Lift, lower. Three more. And face your chair for a couple stretches. We're almost done. So step your right foot forward close to the chair. Step your left foot back. First thing, you bend your front leg forward and get a good stretch on that back foot. Look at my back foot for a second. It's kind of tempting to twist your heel in a little bit. I want both heels to be facing directly to the wall behind your back. And you're just getting a stretch in your back leg. We're going to change it. We're going to stretch your front leg. So what's going to happen is you're actually going to straighten your front leg, bend your back leg, and lean forward. I come forward. I'm going to come down with my forearms. If you want to flex your front foot and stretch, you get a stretch down this leg. Really feel like your right tush is really reaching out behind you. And then stand up and we'll switch. So right foot forward, left leg back. Bend your front knee first. My front knee is bent. My back leg is straight. And both heels are facing the wall to my back. You might look back there. Notice if your heel's a little twisted inward. Try to turn it straight back. One more second. Now shift. So you're going to straighten your front leg, bend your back leg, and lean forward. And if you want to come down onto your elbows, you can. And if you want to flex this foot and really feel your left side of your tush reaching back. And then stand up. Just stand within a reach of the chair. So if you start to get a little off balance, you can put your hand back down. We're just going to do a balance, a shoulder stretch, and then you're done. Right foot goes in front of your left foot. If you notice, right now I'm closing up so I can't see my left foot. My back foot's invisible. This is the hardest version. To make it a little easier, you could step out to the side with your foot. You could even put inside heel to big toe. That's like a medium. And then a little easier, stepping a little bit wider out to the sides of the room, and so on and so forth. So find a stance that you're going to find a balance. So you're going to let go, and you're just going to find a balance for a couple seconds. If wherever you're standing is going so well, try closing one eye. I know that this chair is always there if you need to hold on to it. If that's going well, switch which eye is closed. Open both eyes and switch. One side will probably be easier than another, so it'll be interesting to notice for yourself. Stand, kind of maybe pick what you did before, but you might have to change it just depending on if this is your more comfortable side to bounce on or less comfortable side. If you're ready, let go. And know the chair is always there. If you would like, close one eye. Switch that eye. And open the eyes. Stand with your feet together. I'm going to turn a little bit on the angle so you can see. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back. My palms are trying to move towards each other, and I'm reaching the knuckles. Think of 12 inches back behind you. Think of back behind me, like the bottom of that dresser that I'm kind of standing in front of. Knuckles are reaching there. I'm not arching my back. My back is just stretched straight. I'm just taking some breaths into my chest. Take one more deep breath. All right. Thank you for watching this video and be well.